Hello, Arctic Circle family. Cordy Benyon here with you. I'm the Director of Facilities for Arctic Circle, and I oversee all of your buildings, new stores, remodels, and oversee the maintenance department as well. Josh and the guys who take care of you, your individual maintenance men, Logan, Jackson, and Rhett, they do an incredible job. We as maintenance, we aim to please, and our biggest thing is we want to work on our communication and also help educate and alleviate some of your stress with the equipment. So that's what I'm here doing now, is I'm going to make a series of videos. If you have an idea for a video for me, please send it to arcticcordy@gmail.com, all lowercase, Arctic, K-O-R-T-E, @gmail.com. I would like to produce videos that help you understand your equipment, help you understand how to communicate with your maintenance guys, what things are and how they work. So hopefully I can make one of these videos weekly. First video I would like to try to get focused on is maybe a shorter ice cream machine video, because we're having a lot of problems with ice cream machines, and I know it's very frustrating to you, especially when you don't fully understand how the ice cream machine works. May I first recommend that you watch the training videos. I know they're boring, but I promise you, if you are cleaning and sanitizing and drying and lubing the machines correctly, that they will produce an incredible product. So let me first recommend that you watch those videos. Like I said, in the future, I'm going to make a simplified, more fun version of those videos. Hopefully it'll be more fun and easier to understand. But today, my goal is to talk about walk-in refrigerators and freezers. With the season that's coming upon us, I used to always tell the maintenance guys when one of those would break down that we have $3,000 worth of food in there. Well, now, that was 20 years ago, 20 plus I used to say that. Well, now I know that number is a lot higher. So we need to make sure that these freezers and refrigerators are functioning properly. The first thing I need to ask you to do, keep those doors closed. Make sure your employees understand those doors have to be closed at all times. Make sure all of your hardware is functioning properly. When you let go of the glass doors, they should close on their own completely and seal with a gasket. Same with the big doors. When you push that door closed, that rubber snubber should cut that handle and pull it in. If your doors and gaskets aren't functioning properly, please get it on your maintenance list, and also call your maintenance man and let him know. That's an important item. If our freezers and refrigerators aren't functioning to proper temperatures, we're going to have issues in the future and can lead to freeze-ups. Now, I know that you've all experienced freeze-ups and they suck. And how that happens is moisture. Moisture from the air collects on those evaporators. Now, the evaporators are the big, long box in there with the fans in it. The condenser is the unit up on the roof. The condenser is what the evaporator downstairs, the long box with the fans, absorbs the heat and it transfers it through the refrigeration pipes to the unit upstairs, which releases the heat. So that's a basic rundown of how it works. Why is that important for you to know? Because moisture and air is our enemy. The longer we prop those doors open, the more moisture that goes in, the quicker that's going to freeze up. Once it freezes up, it sends liquid refrigerant in the form of slag back to the compressor, and it will destroy a compressor in no time. I've actually seen it happen in a week of a heavy freeze up. So we can't have freeze ups. And that's, like I said, caused by moisture. So please, when your order is there, keep a jacket or a coat on hand. Go in, close the door, and put it on inside. Do not prop the door open. Do not let Nicholas prop your door open. Make sure that door is being closed. They need to bring all the food in, stage it, and then hurry and put it in, not back and forth to the truck. Casey and I are going to work with Nicholas to make sure that the procedures are done properly. If there is a kill switch or a driver who is trying to kill the breaker or the fans, we don't want to do that. We want to open that door, get the food in as quick as possible, stage it on the outside of the door, then get it in, and then close that door as quick as possible. If we're using kill switches or breakers, we're tricking the system, we're killing the time clocks, so that's not something we want to be doing. Now, if you have a very specific reason that you have a kill switch or a breaker, please reach out to me and let's discuss it, or your maintenance man. either way so that we're functioning properly with how these walk-in refrigerators and freezers are being treated. I know there are some special circumstances, so we need to discuss those. Please call your maintenance guy or myself or your area rep to discuss those. So let's talk about time clocks. This is a digital time clock. This is the newer one that you'll see on the outside of the freezer. All right, if you don't know where this is or how it functions, have your maintenance guy show you or your area rep. This is the newer style digital. This right here is one that you'll see when you open this cover, and this is the old school manual. The reason why I'm showing you these are very important. These have these pins set for 6 and midnight, 6 and noon. But you have to make sure the time is on. Now the black line is night, the silver is day. This isn't set correctly. It's 4 o'clock right now, and this is actually set to, looks like nighttime 4 a.m. So we're going to spin this around. We're going to go past 6 a.m. We're going to go past noon. I'm just spinning this inner dial, and we're going to go to 4:30. Okay, so now that time is correct. We're set at 4:30. Sorry, my lens isn't focusing, but you can see what I'm getting at. These pins are your defrost. So if a maintenance guy calls and you say, oh, my freezer's down, and he says, is it in a defrost? What he's asking you is it anywhere near that pin, the time near that pin? If it's anywhere within 1 click before or 2 clicks after, it's in a defrost. And let me show you what it sounds like. Once it comes through a defrost, that's actually kicking on heaters on the evaporator, on the fans. Those heaters are going to melt off that ice. But if you prop the door open too much, it can't keep up with that amount of ice. So you have to keep those doors closed, especially this time of year when the heat load is so hard as it gets a little bit harder. So anyway, you're going to hear a few clicks here. It's not out of a defrost till the last click, so watch how far it goes. Did you hear that second click? You're an hour out. So this if a maintenance guy calls and says, are you in a defrost, it's anywhere near this pin right here. There's going to be 4 of them. 6 and noon, 6 and midnight. Now again, your job is to make sure it's on the right time. If you don't know where this is or if it's on the right time, then you need to let your maintenance man know. If you for any reason feel like it's off because of a power outage or someone turned off the wrong breakers, then you need to let your maintenance man know. Breakers for a walk-in are different than you think. There are 2 breakers for your freezer and 2 breakers for your refrigerator. Okay? So if a maintenance man says, are your breakers on? You're actually looking for 4 total breakers for your 2 walk-ins. So let's just focus in on the freezer. Your freezer isn't running correctly. Your maintenance guy says, is it in a defrost? The first thing you're looking to see is it by one of these pins? Or this one is this little arrow right here. Is it pointed at these pop-ups? In a defrost on one of these digital, this status light will light up red. This power button just means the fans have power, not the unit upstairs. Again, back to the breaker. There's a 3-bar breaker usually for the roof unit and a 2-bar breaker or a 1-bar breaker for the evaporator, the fans inside. So when you're looking for breakers, all your breakers should be on unless it's specifically marked do not turn on. If that's the case, we need to know why, who put that on there. So that's another maintenance list item. So are your breakers on? Real quick for breakers, just use the palms of your hand and push down your breakers and make sure they're all on all the way top to bottom. Now every store is a little bit different because you have some outside lighting and stuff that you might be turning on, but you know, as a manager, you need to know, or an assistant manager, you need to know what breakers should and shouldn't be on. If you have a piece of equipment that's not functioning, turn on every single breaker. And then, as you fill down the lines, make sure that there's no spongy breakers. There's a little indicator that shows you when it's tripped, but sometimes it doesn't work. So you need to fill down, and if you feel any that aren't right, just slide your hands down the breaker, go ahead and turn it off and turn it on. If you're questioning it at all, turn it off and turn it on. If it's early in the morning before you've opened, feel free to turn all the breakers off and all of them back on. And then watch the piece of equipment and see if it fires back up. So Your job on this one is make sure that this time there's no light or dark on this one. It's just AM and PM. Make sure you pass the AM and keep going, and you're going to go around so that's at PM, and then you're going to go to 4 PM. So that's 4 in the afternoon, all right? So if you have any questions about this, a maintenance man can help you. But that's just a quick rundown on how the defrost timers work. If he asks you if it's in a defrost, that arrow is going to be pointed at these pins that are popped up, not at these ones that are popped down. Now, a lighting timer. These are also lighting timers. Many of you have these. I want you to understand how to use this as a lighting timer. So these ones would be your night. These ones would be your day, okay? So you never want to adjust these without a maintenance man, but you can go ahead and adjust the time anytime you want, or if the maintenance man goes ahead and asks you to do so. If your rep drives past your store on a cloudy day and says, hey, your store's dark, turn your lights on, this little switch right here is actually just a little light switch. Right in there. You just click that up, light switch. And you click it back down to go to the timer. That's to the timer function. And you click it all the way down to turn it off. That kills the lights completely in case of an emergency. So this is actually a built-in little light switch. You never want to adjust this on a freezer, ever. This needs to be left alone. But on a light timer, that little switch in there is made to turn your lights on and off manually. If your rep says your store's dark, turn on your lights. That's what you would do. You'd flip that switch. So, anyway, the last thing I wanted to talk about, walk-in refrigerator and freezer, is the cold control. Okay, some of these are digital, some of them are not. Some of them look like this. On a refrigerator, you do not want to set this any lower than 34 degrees. If you turn it lower, it's not going to get colder faster, I promise you that. The equipment only runs at a certain speed. So, 34 for refrigerator and 0 for freezer. Don't turn it any colder. Trust me, you will just cause a freeze up. It can attain that, so the compressor runs 24 hours a day and it freezes up. It'll send liquid slug back to the compressor and boom, there goes your compressor. So 34 refrigerator, 0 for freezer. If you can't adjust that, that's fine. Let the maintenance men do that. And you don't need to go right in and see where you're adjusted, as long as your indicator, your temperature probe on the outside or the inside of the walk-in is reading proper temp. This is just in case a maintenance guy asks you to look at it. This is what's referred to as the cold control, or the thermostat. Is a country farmer's way of putting that. So hopefully I answered some questions about walk-in refrigerators and freezers. 1, doors closed. 2, gaskets in good shape, door hardware functioning properly. If that's not the case, right next to me is a parts room I keep fully loaded, full of parts and equipment to make sure that you guys have what you need. Secondly, communicating properly. Make sure the maintenance guys know. Make sure you put it on the list. If you put it on the list, I get to see it, Mike gets to see it, and your reps get to see it. So my recommendation to you is put it on the list and make the phone call every time you have an issue. If you call your maintenance guy and let him know, unfortunately, he has a lot of things rolling through his mind during the day. Most of the time, your maintenance guys have about 15 different things on their mind throughout the day of problems they have to solve, parts they have to find, parts houses they have to get to. They're plumbers, they're electricians, they're refrigeration guys, they're tile guys, they're building mechanics. They service their own vehicles. We have a motor pool here, and we take care of all of our own oil changes, and we do ADA certification and plumbing, electrical, refrigeration, heating, air conditioning, you name it. We love to do it all for you. In all actuality, we should probably be multiple divisions. So please stay patient, but communication has been a real issue. So I recommend you put it on your maintenance list, and also give your maintenance guy a call. If you're not getting a response from your maintenance guy, please let your area rep know. If that still is an issue, please call me. I field phone calls all the time from managers, from franchise owners, from your area reps, from anybody who needs help. I love to help. I'd love to answer questions. So feel free to call me and we'll work through your issues. So anyway, hopefully that helped you with your walk-in refrigerator and freezer questions. Again, make sure the doors are closed. Make sure the breakers are on. Make sure that the gaskets are all functioning correctly. Make sure the time is adjusted correctly on your time clock. Make sure that you have pins for 6 and noon and 6 and midnight. If you don't, let your maintenance man know. And if you notice anything weird, when it goes into a defrost, you're going to hear some hissing in the freezer. That's normal. There's some hot elements in there. Do not stick your hands up there. They get really, really hot. And again, they're only designed, those heaters are only designed to handle the amount of moisture from the door being propped open for maybe 10 minutes max. Any more than that, I do not recommend doing it. Those doors need to be closed. You have a lot of expensive food in there, and we need to make sure that those are functioning properly. If you have large amounts of ice buildup on the back of your evaporators, we need to know about it. If you have noises clicking on your fans, anything hitting, or a fan doesn't appear to be going up to speed, we need to know about it. If your fan shrouds are loose, again, put it on the maintenance list. Make your maintenance man aware. If that doesn't get it done in the time frame you need it, make your rep aware or make me aware. We love to get you up and running and working properly. Just communicate with us and we'll get you taken care of. I know I've gone a little long on this message today. I like to keep them short, but hopefully I will find a way to make these messages quick and efficient in the future. But this will be a good start for now. You're doing a wonderful job. I hope that you keep up your hard work, and I hope that you know that Arctic Circle is a great company to work for. I've been here for 27 years, and let's work together to keep everything working good. Have a wonderful day, and I'm going to talk to you real soon.